welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I am More Tanvi and these are the series of interviews that we are conducting for the promotion of some excellent startups across our country. Now the question is that why you should watch this interview. You should watch this interview if you are a job seeker. You should watch this interview if you want to invest. You should watch this interview if you want to know the merits and demerits of starting a freshly new business. So let's know more about some wonderful experiences from the CEOs and founders of various startups. Today's interview we have Mr. Sankara Raman Srinivasan, who is the Honorary Secretary of Amar Seva Sangam and Chairman of Amar Seva Global. He is an accountant cum social entrepreneur with Muscular Dystrophy. He believes that disability should not come in the way of pursuing one's aspirations. His lifetime goal is that no child with disability should be denied of rehabilitation and schooling. His latest project is called Enabling Inclusion. It aims to bring rehabilitation services to children in their own hometown from age 0 to 18. They created the mobile village-based rehabilitation Enabling Inclusion app in order to connect community rehabilitation workers and parents of children with disabilities to rehabilitation specialists and have benefited thousands of children in Tamil Nadu, India. He is leading the effort for global expansion by licensing the app and training and support services to other public and private sector organizations. So let's know more about this wonderful startup from Sankara himself.
So good afternoon, sir. I am More Tanvi from Startup Lanes, and we are really very grateful to have you on the board for this interview.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Very happy to be with you.
Yes.
Like to be associated so that our organization gets its necessary marketing, publicity, and awareness about our program through your efforts.
Yeah. So, sir, I will please request you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
I am Sankara Raman. I am a chartered accountant by profession.
Mm-hmm.
I am in the field of disability management for long. From my educational level itself, I am part of the movement for the rights of persons with disabilities in the state of Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So, my whole purpose of my life here has been to show to the world that the persons with disabilities can achieve and perform,
Mm-hmm.
and are nowhere any less citizens than others.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was facing challenges in my childhood for my education, I wanted to prove that I can do well in my studies. Then I took up the auditing profession as my career. So I studied the chartered accountancy.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, I also studied the cost accountancy.
Okay.
They were best suited for my conditions, and it is a profession which is challenging, and which can also show that it is not impossible for persons with disabilities to achieve this professional career.
Mm-hmm.
So I did CA like anybody else, and I did not look out for any special privileges,
Mm-hmm.
even though they are. And I did it in my first attempt, and I got a good rank in all India level and also a gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got established as a academically capable person,
Mm-hmm.
but then the going forward was to prove myself as a successful professional. So I continued to pursue my profession as a person practicing the profession. I did not join any industry.
Okay.
So my freedom will be there when I am practicing. and I will be able to exhibit and explore my own capabilities. So I also had to face a lot of challenges in the profession. So that helped me to realize my full potentials as well. And that is how I came to the field of disability management segment. I wanted to share my success with others who are similar to me, people with disabilities. If they are given opportunities, they can also perform. So I joined Amar Seva Sangam and honorary capacity till today for the last 30 years, and as a honorary secretary. I am developing various programs and models for persons with disabilities, focusing mainly on children and youth. So they catch them young is the criteria. So if we do that, they can also perform. They will also have the opportunities opened up and they can come to their full potentials. We have been very successful with Ramakrishnan, who is the founder of this organization, who is also a spinal cord injured. And he and me are together developing this organization from scratch. And now we are a globally well-known organization, having several projects under our belt, catering to more than 15,000 persons with disabilities in the rural areas in Tamil Nadu. And we have developed several models for different age groups of people. And we look at disability as a holistic proposition to manage rather than looking at it in isolation. And it's our main motto, make them part and inclusive. So no program is exclusive for a person with disability, but any program that we bring about for a person with disabilities includes all stakeholders, and it is community propelled programs, so that the purpose of what we are doing is achieved. The purpose is that everyone should come up in their life and be independent, and person with disabilities should not be considered as a burden. Those who are considered as burdens becoming breadwinners in the family. So that's and we have been reasonably successful. More than 80% of the people who have been rehabilitated and brought up through our programs are highly successful in their life.
Okay. So, sir, my very first question to you is that, how did you come up with this idea? At what age you thought that, okay, we should do something like this?
Yes, as I told you, from my childhood, I've been having this problem of muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
I don't consider this as a problem. I consider this as a condition. Because only if you consider anything as a problem, there comes a real problem.
Yeah.
But if you consider everything as a challenge, as an opportunity to manage, then your potentials comes out. So even from my childhood, I never wanted to accept my disability. It is not that I don't want to consider myself as a person in certain conditions, but I consider that this condition is not a disability.
Yeah.
It is a condition, of course, but then it should not be a disability. It is people with hypertensions are there, people with diabetes are there, people with so many other conditions are there.
Yeah.
And disability is a nomenclature used for certain conditions and constraint. So people can live with it and perform and come up in their life. So that has been my motto. For this purpose, it is not just the person himself or herself works on that, but also the society should realize this potential human resource available. So it is a very valuable human resource which the society can benefit. So they have to have a certain accommodative environment where people like us can have access, can have mobility, can have opportunities. So if that, then the condition what we have will not become a disabling condition. We will have playing ground, and we are all the same at the end of the day.
So talking about challenges, as far as your company is concerned, what were the most difficult challenges you faced in the early stage of the journey?
Yeah, our program now is on the early intervention, which is a very critical program.
Okay.
Because this is one area which has been not very much focused upon by the rehabilitation people and by the various other stakeholders. But now the realization is coming through because we and Amar Seva Sangam have started it about 10 years back. We went to house to house and started performing the rehabilitation to the children with the developmental delays at their doorstep. So this is for 0 to 6 age group. So if you take these children at such young ages, then at that time the theory said the child can develop. The child has a much better chances of getting its potentials in a full-blown manner, so that the child can perform at the later ages. So that was the theory. The theory was that every child with will undergo a tremendous explosive growth in their brains when their neurons exponentially grow from the age 0 to 3 and 3 to 6. Millions and millions replicate in seconds. So that's a growth that we all have underwent in our child. Every child undergoes that. And a child with developmental delays has this constraint, a condition where the child faces a lot more challenges, a lot more odds. Okay. So if you see an ordinary child, then a child gives a message to you through its smiling face or through its other bodily actions, which we recognize and we respond. So the child gets a feedback, and that's how a child grows and develops. But for a child with developmental delays, the child is communicating, but we are not understanding what the child is saying, what the child is communicating. So the problem is more with us rather than with the child. Okay. So the child, if it has to develop to its full potentials, we should provide the necessary supports for the child and also make ourselves properly trained and acquainted so that we respond to the child. So if the child and parent and child and the neighborhood environment interactions gets better and better, the child's growth is also gets better. And the child with the cerebral palsy and other mental retardation or intellectual disabilities or autism and so on. So the child is in a much, much better position when the intervention happens, when the brain is growing exponentially. And the child reaches the age 6, the child is in a much, much, much better position than a similar child who hasn't got that early intervention before. So the early intervention is a very important component, and we have proved in the past several years, and there are several publications we have made in the international journals, impact and implications of this early intervention in our program. In our area, it has developed so well that the impact is so much on the child and so much on the family that the family's strain index is reduced by 77%. Okay. The child is able to get its interactions from 10% to 95%. And child's school admissions at the age of 4 or 5 is 85% up from 55% for a child which is not getting the interventions. So there is a so that's how we got into this area of early intervention now. And as a new company we have formed, we want to make this a global approach so that no child is denied of such rehabilitation opportunities and such schooling opportunities just because the child is disabled.
Also, sir, as per my knowledge, that before your company, there are some organizations, there are NGOs who already work for the same cause. So, I want to know that what was the market gap that you identified before commencement of your business?
The whole success of this model is because it is totally technology driven. So everything is put into an algorithm and into a system of doing the early intervention to the child. So the entire program is therapy session and therapy programs are packaged into the software. So, and it caters to all kinds of child's conditions, whether it is speech or whether it is the limbs or whether it is intellectual or sensory or any other aspect of a child, whether it is visual or hearing, whatever. So, for all kinds of situations, the solution is packaged into the system. Okay. And these solutions are based on the international protocols, accepted practices. And is that since the program is fully into the computer system and the system is enabled through the GPS model, the delivery of services can happen at the doorsteps of the child. The child need not go to any clinic or to any near center. A person who has the knowledge of rehabilitation can go to doorsteps and perform it. And the person who has to do it need not be a specialist, need not be a physiotherapist or special educator. The person can be a 12th standard graduated person with proper training. So what happens is that the availability of the persons who perform the therapy at the doorsteps becomes without any limitation. Because if you want a therapist to do it, you have only a limited number of physiotherapists. You have only a limited number of special educators, limited number of speech trainers. But you have plenty of rural people who are 12th grade people who can be trained. And they are being enrolled and recruited for this purpose. And this enormously reduces the cost to the extent of even 75% per child. Because the delivery is done at the doorsteps without the travel with the parents, and the number of sessions is extraordinarily high. If the parents have to go to the center, then they go only once or twice in a month. But here, they go every week. And the therapy happens on every day by the parents themselves. So with all these, the cost goes down tremendously, and the delivery is done by the worker, and the entire program is managed through the GPS-enabled system. It is reliably tracked, and so the quality is also ensured. So with all these benefits, we are able to deliver a very highly successful model. It caters to all kinds of disabilities, all kinds of conditions.
So, sir, talking about your business model, the next thing I want to know that please, explain your business model in detail.
This app has been produced and the model has been developed over a period of last 7 years. And there have been a lot of iterations happened and a lot of improvements happened. And right now the current version is the one which includes the the World Health Organization's parents-facing approach towards rehabilitation, and it is totally child-centered. And that is the reason why we wanted this to be given to other NGOs on a license basis, other NGOs or the government for license, because they don't have to reinvent the wheel and a separate system, which itself will involve a huge investment for them. So they need not do those kind of investments or have to undergo this kind of development process. So it is a which the NGOs or any state or central government can take on a license basis, and we have a fee for that. They pay the license fee, and we give them not only the technology, we give them the training also, and we provide a continuous 24/7 support all throughout. So we are going to be there with them throughout for the actual delivery of services for their clients or children whom they are. So our business model works in that way. So they replicate and they take out licenses from us. They means the NGOs and or the government. Yeah. So the ultimate aim is that a good large number of children are reached out. This process. Yeah.
Okay. So answering my earlier question, you have, just explained your products and services, but still I want you to specify the products and services that you provide to your customers.
We, first of all, we give the the application to them. All their workers can register and become a user of that. Okay. And when that application is there, there are 3 levels at which the application helps the whole program management. At the field level, the community worker is able to carry a mobile phone and get to the various therapy plans for the child. So they go to the child's house and they open their mobile and look at the child's rehab program. So the program will give the complete therapy sessions that has to be performed to the child. So that is for the community work. The second is the rehab professionals and the people who actually make the assessment and the therapy schedules for the children, and also make the schedules for the workers. So at this intermediary level, the specialists go out and make the assessment of the child and discuss with the parents and give out a therapy plan according to what the parents actually has what the parents wants as a priority. For example, a parent would want the child who is not able to sit up to have the child sit up first. Another parent would rather prefer something different. They may say that my child should be able to turn or speak or something like that. So there may be different priorities for different parents. So the specialist will be able to determine the priority of the parents and set the goals and the therapy plans. And be assigning this work to the community workers. The worker who is nearby, so they will be able to assign this child to workers based on the geographical location. So what the software not only helps the assessment to be recorded, but also the therapy schedules and the expected goals to be achieved after the end of maybe 6 months or 3 months or 1 year, depending upon the goals that has been set, and also schedule the work of the workers by creating an automatic calendar.
Okay.
So it is completely system driven at the middle level of the program implementation. At the management, the higher level, it gives a real-time feedback of what is happening. So if you open the application in your laptop or in your mobile, you will be able to see which worker is going where and what at any particular point of time. You will get a summary of what is happening. The real-time actual happening of the work on the field. At another level for the management, they will be able to get a lot of data. So the data for different dimensions. So they will be able to assess the growth trajectory or the progression of the child. They'll be able to assess the efficiency of the worker, how much a particular worker is able to, achieve the schedules that has been assigned to the worker. How much a child, is able to go to the next level, like go to the schooling, get to the various assistive devices, various other government entitlements the child is supposed to get, whether how has really got them or how many of them are still not receiving them, how many of them have already got and have shown improvement. So all these kind of data is available at the top management level, where they will be able to intercept if there are any issues to be resolved. So it gives a real-time monitoring and as well as continuous, evaluation. It is called as a rapid cycle evaluation, so that course corrections also is enabled in the process. So at the three different levels, the services provide support. And from our point of view, we provide training and we help them to set up their project through the software. And we train the community workers, we train the specialists, we also train the management about how the whole model works and how whole technology works. We help them to set up the monitoring and evaluation and reporting systems for them. And we also provide them the software domain creation, its configuration. All the master data has to be there in the system. So we help them to put all that. We also provide the servers set up for them. If they are not in a position to have an expert to provide the server for them, then we help them to set them up for the data security, storage, retrieval, and management, and so on. And there is also a continuous 24/7 support that we give with our help desk. We help them to monitor, we help them to engage themselves with the workers, with the children, and also help them to have a good quality management for their programs. And post onboarding, we will have continuous interactions with them, so that any problems or issues or doubts that they have, we will be able to resolve them. Apart from that, also provide value-added services like continuous education programs for different levels, from community level workers to the specialists and also to the management. Then we also give them the impact evaluation. We do it as a separate value-added service. If they can, we also help them to get the proper recruitment and also to set up a good management system for them to implement the program.
Okay.
We are also open to any research and collaboration with such partners. These are all the additional supports that we give on top of our regular offer of technology, training, and support services. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question I want to ask is quite simple, but still I want you to specify your target customers.
Yeah, our target customer is the NGOs, mainly the NGOs,
Okay.
and also government agencies. The targeted beneficiaries will be the children with developmental delays. It is the children to whom the whole service is going to be there. And our offer is B2B. It is not B2C. So the NGOs will be the people who will be absorbing our technology and delivering to children. The government also is showing a lot of interest. We also already have a tie-up with the Tamil Nadu government where more than 100 children are getting benefited in about 23 blocks. Where the government of Tamil Nadu has taken up as a big project in 3 districts with our model and our technology. Yeah.
So that's great. The next thing I want you to specify is the 2 to 3 unique features about your company that differs you from the other companies and NGOs who does the same work.
Yeah. The other NGOs do work, but then with this they can do much better. This is a tool. This is like those days you didn't have Excel sheet. You did all the work with calculators, right?
Yeah.
All the calculators that do the additions on a paper. Rather than and then the whole transformation happened. So it is the same thing. When you have a tool and you have a method and you have a model, that helps everybody.
True. So, sir, if anyone is, out there seeking the, there is a job applicant out there seeking job. So, why he or she should choose to work with you?
Again, because it is a highly successful model which has been proven. We have been awarded on many platforms. In the Solve MIT platform in the United Nations in New York. Then again, the Zero Project platform, again in United Nations, but this time in Vienna.
Okay.
You have other awards like the Spindle Award, then many more that I can quote, both in India and abroad. So it is a proven technology, it is a proven platform, and applications have already happened. The research work shows the impact. So it is significantly showing a great impact compared to others. So there is no reason why an NGO should not take this model. So there is every justification is there that they can take our model.
When you were introducing yourself, you mentioned that you are CA by profession. So the next thing I want to ask that if not this company, what else you would be doing right now?
I am also practicing. I don't lose my practice because I have my own living other than what I am doing. So I do a practice, not very aggressive, but a little bit. But then if not for this early intervention program that we have, what we would have ended up with is that we have already a early intervention center in our place. Okay, so that is catering to about 30 to 35 children in a year. So we would have ended up doing this, catering to only this limited number of children. Now today, we have more than 4,000 children.
Okay.
So see the power of technology, see the power of the model. So from 35 to 3,500. So that is something, right?
So, sir, answering my earlier questions, you mentioned that you provide services online as well as some are offline. So, what are the products and services that you are in constant touch with to run your business?
Yeah, the online in the sense that our entire program is online. The entire software is based on GPS.
Yes.
And everybody gets connected on real-time basis. The offline never really happens unless the internet goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are always online, in touch and in connection with workers, with the partners, and with the parents. We get connected through the various video conference platforms available with WhatsApp also. So on top of our technology, we have this additional technologies also available. So we are always online.
Okay. So basically, you are in need of the IT sector, IT services.
Yeah, we have got a good IT people with us who are providing the necessary robust platforms for us. So we have a dedicated set of people and also a very good vendor who is there to keep on improving and developing. Right now, having is the 4th version of our enabling inclusion app. So 4 or 5 years, the versions have also keep changing and improving. So we have features, and the latest we have got even the school-going children for up to age 18. We have got all the modules up in the latest version, and all these are also going to be there for the partners. We are not going to charge anything extra for the new features and the new capabilities software is going to get. That once they subscribe to the license, all these kind of new capabilities automatically gets to them also. Nothing extra for those.
Okay. So, sir, what are your recent and long-term plans for your business?
No, our long-term plans are many. We dream like we are going to be the global solution providers for all children with developmental delays. There are more than 52 million children across the globe with developmental delays. And sky is the limit, and you have to try that.
Yes, sir.
We have to aim. We have to see that our vision is that, as I told you, that I got the opportunity when I was a child to go to a school and got educated, and that was a big impact on me as a child. So I know what it means. So I don't want any child to be left behind in schooling or in getting opportunities, because that the child is a child with developmental delays. It is not the child's fault that the child is developmentally delayed.
Yeah.
So we who have to provide that. So we need to get these numbers, whether it is 50 million or 3 million. At least to begin with, I would like that in India, we are able to solve the problem of this early intervention in this country. So that access to the early intervention and get opportunities.
Okay.
It is very critical.
Yes, sir. We Startup Lanes wish you luck to achieve your dreams and goals. It would be a great help for India for sure. Also, my next question is that are you planning to raise external funds? And if not right now, then are you planning to do so in near future?
We are trying to raise grants. We are trying to raise grants from long-term funding providers. We look at this whole problem, whole solution that we have as a system change.
Okay.
It is a change from the traditional clinical approach to a community approach. The ownership is with the parents and not with the therapist. And the therapist is not to provide therapy, but to train the mothers and parents and help the child to get the necessary interventions. And the therapy itself is not something very different. It is a part of the child's life. So the change in approach is that the therapy is a part of the day-to-day life of the child, which happens even without them knowing it. So this is the system change that we want to bring. And the sustainability depends on the community, the parents, on long-term basis to adapt this and make internalized into their day-to-day activities. So we need funders who can help us to carry this on, and the change in system doesn't happen that easily. So what we succeed locally is only a local success. That a funder can give and they withdraw, and we show success and we show impact, and we produce publications and say that's it. But that's not what we want. We want a sustainable solution, and a solution that changes and transforms the society. So here you need a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of stakeholders joining hands. The government, CEOs, the professionals, the parents, the society, and so on. So we are looking for those kind of funders who join hands with us, and we can provide with a lot of knowledge. Knowledge is our source. Knowledge is our asset. So that's what we can give. We don't have money, but we have knowledge and we have experience.
So lastly, I would love to hear feedback on startup lanes, and also if you want to thank someone from your team or friends and family, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have to really thank Dr. Dinesh Krishna. When I said in 2013 that I want to develop a community-based solution because children are not able to get to our center in our Seva Sangam, but want to get the children to be reached. And I said that I want the technology to support, because the mobiles are coming, the Android systems are coming, the GPS is there, the internet is there. So he is the guy who came out with a brilliant idea, saying that, okay, see, you provide a kind of system so that the technology and GPS takes the program to the child. He came out with a master plan of how it can be done. So he's the the project director of this program for the last 4 years. He lives in Canada, in Toronto, but operates remotely. He is a practitioner. He's a practicing doctor. He's a physician. So he does it on his spare time. And you have Handicare International, who is a seed funder for this program. They are also in Canada. And they brought in Grand Challenges Canada into the picture. And they both matched the funding. And till now, we have got about 10 crores invested into this project because of this. Handicare International and Grand Challenges Canada. And thank the Tamil Nadu government, the officials in Tamil Nadu government, the secretary, the minister, the commissioner. Went there about 3 years back, told them about the impact. They were very receptive and they were very excited. And they managed to put all these things together in the format that the government wants it. And the last nearly 1 year, the government of Tamil Nadu and we are working in a large-scale expansion. So my sincere thanks to these people is very much there. And in fact, I was only a a kind of idea giver, but you know, don't work unless somebody is there to work on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my own great team. I have Arvind, I have Sahairaj, then I have Rajeshwaran, I have Kalyani. There is some technology, Rajeshwaran is on finance, Sahairaj is on implementation, then Arvind is on business development. So with this, I am able to go on, and it's a Navamani, is another lady. She is on training and knowledge development.
Okay.
So there is a good, excellent team that I have who carries on, and I simply drive them, and they tolerate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, also thanks to you. Thank you for your crucial time and words. And it was really lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you a lot. Thank you for your team. Okay. Thank you, Tanvi. Yeah. See you. Bye-bye.